game 2 here of Triple Strike versus Hardcore Campers. And of course, after that will be our third set of Northern Storm versus White Wolf. So hope you stay tuned for all of that. But really impressive, dominating display there by Triple Strike, especially once the mid game rolled around and they got those pickoffs on the Cho. They just never fell behind after that. What do you think Campers is going to do to try to come back from it?
Um, they're going to have to mitigate what they allow their carries to get away with. That Lucian and that Lux were able to snowball in the mid game, and they became just impossible to deal with. Lucian was hypermobile, and he walked away by the skin of his teeth every time, and that Lux got so far ahead in CS, the kill count at the middle of the game just didn't matter.
Yeah, like I said in the previous game, I imagine that we're going to see the Lux get locked out pretty quickly here for a ban. But we will have to wait and see, as I do not have the correct overlay set up. 1 second. There it is. Yes. Alright, so we're going into the bans. Expect to see Anivia and Lux would be my guess, but we will have to see. It looks like the campers are discussing right now who they're prioritizing. But then coming out of that, do you think there's any champions from the first game that the Triple Strike will want to ban out? Is the Cho, you think, a big enough of a threat that they'll try to box that out?
No, they dealt with it pretty readily. Considering that the major carry potential came from that Varus pick, it might be worth banning him out. Goonstomp is just a sub, but he carried his weight in that last game.
Yeah, that Varus was doing a really good job. He had a couple of really good ults. And, it'll be nice to see if they manage to get that worked out. So I'll be very... as I said, I'll be very surprised to see if there isn't a Lux ban here. But they might be expecting that once again. I believe this is just kind of the norm for Triple Strike, that they don't really pick the mid laner in the first round. So they may be relying on that as well. Or they're just more scared of the Shen and Misfortune, and maybe they have a plan to deal with the Lux. Or maybe they'll first pick Lux. That's possible as well.
Well, with the stacked lineup that Triple Strike has, that Shen is probably a targeted ban. The MF is just an incredible general ban for meta right now. I don't want to call it targeted, but any ADC worth their salts has some playtime on her here recently.
And of course, the Anivia is even more dangerous than the Lux in the hands of Ace. But we'll have
Sedge ban?
Yeah. Ooh, Pantheon. That's exciting. Has a little bit of flexibility there. It'd be interesting to see if they do decide to do Pantheon jungle, maybe do a kill lane bot, or if it's a Pantheon top. A lot of options.
Very odd flex pick this season, but most definitely a flex pick.
Yeah, I think this is the first time we've seen him, at least in the main tournament play of the LCUS, so it'll be cool to see how he works out. Kayn, of course, being the more standard pick. And we'll see what the next lock-in there is for Triple Strike.
He's seeing 100% play rate tonight. So if he makes it to 100, I'd be at the end of the night. I'll be shocked. Someone's got to start banning him,
or someone's got to prefer someone else. But we'll have to see. I mean, he's definitely been a big presence. His survivability, his ability to get out of really impossible situations. Scion pick is interesting. Can definitely help deal with Pantheon harass, we're assuming the Pantheon is the top laner. Thanks to his shield. Looks like they're giving Rise to Ace. Oh, not Ace, sorry. That's the other team. Alright, Rise is going to be in the mid lane then. So that's definitely an interesting pick. Of course, another character that Ace kind of likes, but also another character that does have some weaknesses that I've noted before.
Very much so, and it's very interesting that they pick a Rise with a Pantheon. Pantheon does tend to drop off late game, and Rise a late game hyper carry. So there's going to be some dynamics. Maybe they're looking for a more solid transition game from mid game to late game.
Yeah, and they also have a lot of movement on this team. Rise with his group teleport, Pantheon with his ult. So they'll be a team that can definitely... Yep, there's the Lux ban. Told you it was going to happen. um, could definitely get around quickly if they want to, and hopefully we'll see them utilize that, especially with 2 teleports coming out of their summoner spells.
Oh yeah. Leona is also a very standard pick tonight, and if she hasn't been picked, she has been banned.
Yeah. And it looks as though they're banned. So basically the same bans coming out of Triple Strike, it looks like. If it isn't broke, don't fix it, all that jazz.
That's right. That's right.
So we're anticipating a mid laner and an ADC for sure coming out of Triple Strike. There's still a bit of a question about what the Pantheon's role is. Obviously he's not support with the Sona being picked, but he could still be a jungler. Not obviously the best option for jungle, but is an option if they choose to do some sort of big pick against the Scion. Ooh, Xayah sneaks through. This could be very painful for campers.
And that's a whole lot of CC in that bot lane. Very difficult to get.
Yeah, I think that this is going to be really interesting. Hopefully they pick an ADC with maybe a little bit of, I was going to say a little bit of mobility like Ezreal, but obviously Ezreal's been banned out. Ashe, that could be interesting, assuming they go with it, and they do. All right. So Ashe showing up. Always nice to see someone, a couple of characters from the earlier League of Legends history. We got Ryze and Ashe on a team.
Well, this whole team is Season 1 perfection.
And a Xin. Okay, so right away I'm not seeing much in the way of extreme tankiness for campers here, which may be a problem when you're up against a Xayah and a Kayn. That's just my impression. I mean, Xin can get durable. Pantheon, depending what you buy, can get durable, but then that makes him fall off even faster. Alright, and Xerath. Alright, so, like you said, very, very Season 1 coming out of campers for their last game of the night. Game 2 of this middle-of-the-road set. And somewhat, I'd say, standard for at least the LCUS there for Triple Strike. What do you think?
I think that it's going to be an exciting game. We're seeing a whole lot of comfort picks for Team Triple Strike that we've seen the first 2 weeks. So not a lot of innovation, but if it's not broke, don't fix it. And in regards to hardcore campers, this is a major difference compared to what they played in the first game. This is a team with some major variations on how they could play. They have incredible pick potential, but the team fight's not to be ignored. So we'll just have to see how it plays out.
Yeah, there's a lot of snares and a lot of disables on this. Pantheon especially, if he gets a chance to go off, they should own the early game pretty easily, buy that Ryze some time in order to get him rocking and rolling. And of course, then on the flip side, you've got Xayah, who is always masterclass. Leona, who makes every lane scary. Sion, who has got his great charge engage. Kayn, who everyone's just could be an all-star in this game. It really depends how it plays out and how much leeway each champion gets.
Yeah, and there's a mix on both teams of early and mid and late game potential. So I don't think, unless this turns into a major snowball for one team, this is going to be hard fought all the way to the Nexus.
Yeah, definitely, especially with the Xin and Pantheon. If they get some ganks going up in the top lane, that Scion's going to have a really rough life. But then, of course, on the reverse side, the Kayn and the Scion could make Pantheon's life a living hell. So I think we should look out for a lot of ganks coming up in the top lane, depending who ends up getting pushed. Because, of course, Pantheon, if he doesn't get going early, he's not really going to get going at all. So if they want to shut that down and just make sure he's a non-starter throughout the game, that's probably where we're going to see a lot of the action. But as we've said before, mid lane's been a big target for much of today. So if it stays that way, then Xerath, with his lack of mobility, may need to keep an eye out for incoming attacks from Xin.
Most definitely. And with the exception of Pantheon on the hardcore campers and Kayn with Team Triple Strike, there isn't a single champion in play that doesn't have some kind of utility throughout the entirety of the game. So I think this is a pretty snowball-free strat on both teams.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to see. I mean, Pantheon's stun throughout all stages of the game can't really be ignored. It's a very reliable stun, especially one that can come out of nowhere if he lands an ult properly. But of course, then there's also the stuns coming out of Sona, knockups coming out of Xin, snares from Rise, Ash arrows. After the amazing Ezreal ult we saw in the previous set, I'm waiting to see a good Ash arrow in this game as to possibly swing the tide.
Yeah, and it's going to come down to those miracle plays between two all-star lineups that we have right now.
Yeah, we'll have to see. We're doing the battle for second place here in the LCUS. Fortunately for Triple Strike, they managed to snag game one, but we will see if Campers can do a dominant performance in game two, which will be starting in 20 seconds.
Very exciting night.
Yeah. All right. So the big gamble we got to do now is what skins the Pantheon going to do, because he's got a lot of them.
I really hope we see Baker Pantheon. I'm a sucker for the funny skins. And if we did see the barbecue Leona played into it, it would just be mwah, c'est magnifique.
All right. Well, here we go.
Black screen right now as we load into the script to the skin hoedown, showdown, throwdown,
yeah, definitely
snowdown.
Trying to get that to work for you here. There we go. All right, see what we got. Yeah. All right. No skin on Pantheon. Disappointing. Liking that Rise skin though.
Yeah, since they updated the splash art, it's much better. Project Ash being played into a Cosmic Dusk Xayah.
They look almost identical. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah, that's going to make our jobs easier. I know that. Sona playing into Leona, both of them in standard garb.
Well, I mean, don't they always try to pick things out that are easiest for us? I mean, that's the way things are supposed to work, right?
Well, mission 1 in the LCS, win the game. If you can't accomplish that, mission 2, make life on the casters hard.
Well, that's unfortunate that is their strategy, but we'll see how it works out for them. All right, just doing a quick check here. Yeah, the Ashe and the Xayah look somewhat similar. Ashe with a little bit less of the cape going on there, so we'll have to keep an eye on that, since Xayah's cape is her wings. But we're rocking and rolling here, and we're going underway. Pantheon starting a little bit tankier, worth noting, going with that Doran shield. And a lot of pings going on. Everyone's anticipating each other pretty readily.
Ping, ping, ping.
Yeah, but everyone's playing relatively safe. Probably taking reminders from the first game.
Yeah, set 1. That set a standard. It's going to be hard to top that.
But we'll have to see. I mean, Pantheon is definitely should be spotted here. But, I mean, it's not like they have any reason to head up. Pantheon hasn't picked his ability yet, so he's definitely waiting to see how much aggression comes out here and see if he needs his stun or his spear first.
Very early ward from the Scion.
Yeah, probably just want to make sure the Xin does do what they're expecting him to do, or when he is expected to do it. Kayn,
well, if you're gonna wolves. If this Kayn goes for the aggressive counter jungling we've seen so far tonight, that second blue buff could go over to the red side.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Good friendly job there by the bot lane helping out the Kayn. Kayn does leave one wolf though, so he'll hopefully have to go and clean that up. And so now we're getting into the lane. Xerath is going to place a ward just in case there's some counter jungling from the Xin. So
smart play.
Lot of mids helping out their Kayns today, especially because it's still Ace and Chow 6 doing that. Alright, so Harass coming out of the Pantheon. He did go his spear first, and he is utilizing it rather effectively. Just to start off with here. Rise has been pushed under tower by Xerath's harassing. And Leona's taking a bit of damage there on the bot lane as well.
Standard Brawl Fest so far, as teams just exchange blows.
Yeah, it's interesting to see that the Scion has not taken Shield as one of his second abilities, considering how much Harass Pantheon's putting down. Granted, this does mean that the Scion can put down Harass in return with his great Q knockups.
Probably a calculated call there.
Yeah, because I mean, Scion can definitely exchange blows with just about anybody early game, with just his natural durability. And now that he still isn't going Shield, so he's more than willing to just fight back and forth with this Pantheon. Because the Pantheon has to move in a relatively predictable pattern.
And he's throwing down,
Yeah.
punishing that decision to not take the shield.
Yeah, I mean, Pantheon is definitely willing to go the distance if the Scion is. He'll just have to see which one ends up on top.
Ooh, potential in the mid lane, as we do see. Oh,
Yeah,
bot lane,
the
things
bot
are
as
popping
well.
as we see the Sona CC'd,
Oh,
and
Sona
he does go
flashes
down for the
too.
first blood.
Sona flashed for that too and still went down. Looks like Ace is in, or not Ace, Ash is in a lot of trouble too.
Oh! Brandana going down to Goonstomp, who shows he's not to be fooled with.
And Pantheon won the exchange in the top lane as well during that. So, big exchanges going on right away. That was an amazing flash that cannot be understated by that Ashe managing to avoid the counterattack by Leon at the last second. Pantheon might be in a little trouble here, but he flashes as well.
It's a good call on him.
Yeah, definitely. So Campers manages to take a little bit of a lead. 2 kills to 1. And just some nice overall engagements, and Pantheon once again proving that he does have the early game in his pocket if you try to be extra aggressive with him. And
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sure that Scion will be getting a shield for level 4. Which he would have anyway, but, you know, it sounds a little bit better if you say it's because of that. We'll have to see. Pantheon, of course, getting the long swords right away. A little bit of armor coming out of the Scion, giving a little bit more of that survivability. Ashe hasn't gone back yet, sitting on 1,300 gold. Probably going to go back now, though, because he's right at BF sword cost. More fighting from the Pantheon and the Scion.
He's going aggressive on that Scion, punishing that choice for him to go so close of combat. Because that Scion was picked into the Pantheon.
Yeah. We'll have to see how it works out. Ashe is still staying in lane. Wonder if she figures, well, I'm this healthy, might as well hang out a little bit more. We'll have to see how that works out for her, because since she is sitting in the lane, despite having as much gold as she does, Xayah is technically the one that is ahead right now with her itemization. That could come back and bite the Ashe if the Ashe isn't careful.
Continued exchanges.
Xerath looks like he's willing to take advantage of the fact that the Ashe is low. Rotating down is level 6. So we'll be able to get off an ultimate here should the need arise.
And his movement's not been seen yet.
Almost a start of an engage there. Leona just barely misses. Kane's here too, but
4 in the bot lane.
yeah, a little out of position there for any sort of big engage just yet. All just kind of hanging out. Sona's walking
Sona going
right
forward.
into this. No flash
And
on
looks
that
like
Sona.
he will go down.
Alright, so the gank does pay off. Ryze and Xin are coming. This is spotted out. So we'll see what kind of impact the Xin makes. Ryze is taking the longer way, of course.
Very poor positioning. It's a 3v4 right now. I think they're looking just to keep the tower up.
Yeah, definitely. Scion, meanwhile, has been forced under turret by the Pantheon, so we'll see where that goes. Turret's taking a lot of damage. Minion wave isn't quite where they might want it to be. Nice little poke there by the Xin. Ryze trying to get in position, but gets caught out, stunned. And the Xin goes a little too far forward there.
This siege is just continuing, and it's
Yeah.
pretty merciless.
Looks like that last little bit of healing from the Sona managed to keep the Ashe safe. Ashe is definitely going to go back now. She's sitting on almost 2,000 gold, so we'll definitely be able to come back with a lot of items. But it's just unfortunate she wasn't able to do that earlier, and so now they're suffering.
Oh, Raz going down after some poor positioning and a good stun.
Ooh, Leona does end up having to burn that flash. That's some big tower damage on that Xayah. Turret is going to go down. Ace is making sure of that. Which then means Sona is not really the healthiest or safest in the world. And Sona goes down as well. So just really good commitment, collapse, and coordination there coming out of Triple Strike.
Well, that siege didn't just get them the tower, it benefited them 3 kills. That was a major investment with a high payoff. So very well played by Team Triple Strike.
Yeah, and the gold is now completely swung into Triple Strike's favor. Obviously on the scoreboard it's only 2.5k, but Xerath has almost twice the gold as Rise, and Xayah has 1200 extra gold up on the Ashe. Pantheon does ult in. They may be able to counter and steal this dragon. Is an Earth Drake, so won't be a huge team fight impact, but still useful for sieging since they are a little bit behind. But this may also mean they're going to get collapsed on. They don't have any real frontline presence, so they have no one to try to zone for this. So they're going to get the dragon, assuming the smite goes off, and they get the Leona as well. So Leona went in without much follow-up, and it paid off for campers in a big way.
Oh, yeah. Oh, CC coming down on Xin Zhao, going low, but walking away. And San looking to take his top tower.
Yeah, Science takes a while on those towers, especially since he doesn't seem like he has the high tower damage rune. But still dealing a lot of work to it. Pantheon might be able to get up there in time to save it. But
thank you.
Yeah, but it's going to fall pretty quickly. Rise is coming to help out, though. This could be a lot of trouble for the Sign, who does have a ward there. Heading back.
That's a good thing about ultimate away.
Yep, uses ult to get out. Choo-choo.
Incredibly well played by the top laner, Gravebeard Odin.
Yeah, so a lot of excitement last couple of minutes here, and now we're settling back down. Xerath almost getting ganked here by the Rise. Actually, in a lot of trouble. He's getting seriously collapsed on. He does not have flash either, so Xerath somehow manages to get out of there. Oh, two flashes burned for it, and they do manage to get
1 for 1 right now. 2 for 1. TP coming in from the top lane as Pantheon goes in.
It's like a 3 for 1. I don't know if this Pantheon really wants to do this. Gets dodged by the Xayah. Oh, we may get a penta here.
We'll see.
Yep.
Hey! Brandana with a pentakill. 10 minutes and 33 seconds into the game.
So, they thought they had a Xerath, and instead they got wiped. That's drama right there.
Well, that solidified a 5k gold lead. They're now down 2 towers. They being the hardcore campers. They still have some opportunities that they could play out of this. With Sion, it's very difficult if he goes to split push to not let him get some kind of benefit. Because if he dies under tower, he's still going to deal so much damage.
Leona just doesn't care about Ashe's damage right now. Good Pantheon ult, though. This is going to deal a lot of damage. Good counterplay there by the campers. Really good job to make their presence known. Let them realize they're not out of it yet.
And this Ashe, she's wanting to put the team on her back. Goonstomp saying, I'm just a sub, but that doesn't mean I don't want to win.
Yeah, we'll have to see how this goes. Pantheon, once again, getting some big presence there. Does get a stun, but he's really fast.
Incredibly good dodge by the Rise there, as that is able to allow them to secure the kill, but not without a trade.
Oh, they're collapsing in on him. There is going to be some flashes and wall running here. Rise probably doesn't want to go into that and wisely backs off.
No, I wouldn't have wanted that if I was him.
But yeah, really good job turning this around. Or at least not necessarily even turning it around, but just turning the momentum around. Campers really making their presence felt. Really getting out there, making a statement saying, hey, we just got pented, but we're still here. We're still able to get things done.
Well, in the last team fight that's led to them being behind right now was very poor positioned. They were spread out between the around the dragon pit in a very awkward way. Their team fight comp has really excelled in this position, and that's what's allowing them to close this.
Yeah, I mean they were really out of position. Everyone was kind of tunnel visioning on that Xerath. They did eventually get, but then was getting picked off by everyone else. And of course now the Pantheon's getting a little more involved, getting that early game dominance that we talked about, and may be able to continue that depending who they decide to lock onto next as he and Xin are roaming together.
Yeah, and that's going to be a major threat. But these teams are going to have to gear up to deal with this Xayah.
Yeah.
She's 8-2-2, 92 CS, which is game leading CS right now. She's turning into a threat. Needs to be managed.
Big Scion ult coming down here. Everyone manages to avoid it. Pantheon does get slowed though. That's going to be a problem. Does throw the stun out. Kayn does jump into him. Really low damage on the. Yeah, that's rough for the Pantheon, and the kind of thing you kind of hate to see as a Pantheon. But we'll discuss that in a second. Fight's still working out. Looks like, ooh, really good awareness on that Ashe. That Ashe has been doing really good at dodging very close attempts on her life.
Oh, with the Ashe ult going in, trying to stop this tower going down. Yeah. I don't think it'll do it, but it did push the Leona out.
Yeah, Rift Herald popped just to make this push have a little bit extra juice to it. And they're probably going to get 2 towers out of this. We'll have to see. Especially with Ashe having gone back. Pantheon does ult in. This could be a huge ult, and it is. Leona does manage to sneak out, unfortunately. Pantheon's probably going to get picked off here. He tries his best to make something happen there. They were chasing the Leona, but now the Raptors are scaring the Xin away. Good flash there by Kayn to get out of there as well. So 1 for 1. Turret still standing. Well, actually, Rides is probably going to go down here. Ooh, good dodge, but still does manage to go down.
Incredibly well read by both teams. The 5k lead is re-solidified by Team Triple Strike as we go in to the mid-game of this match.
Yeah, let's see where it goes from here. We're looking at the gold really quickly here. As we said, the Xayah is significantly fed, about 3k gold ahead of everybody else. And the Kayn and Xerath aren't bad either.
Oh, Xerath going in, but Kayn intelligently is able to knock him away.
Yeah, really low health though on that Kayn. They may end up losing the dragon for this, even though it is another Earth dragon. It'd be interesting to see those Earth dragons get into play later. Xin does a preemptive scan and probably, nope, doesn't manage to take out the ward. Zin's moving in. I'm not sure if he wants this engage though. Ashe is pretty low, going up against 2 tanks with surprising amounts of damage. Plus Xin only has just over 1,000 hit points. Oh, Ashe is in a lot of trouble. There's
incredible flash.
Yeah, great flash once again. I mean, just that great footwork there on the Ashe. Flash work on the Ashe. Alright, so next dragon getting taken. This one probably looks like Triple Strike's gonna get it. No one's really in a great position to try to counter this. Though Xin did try. And loses a lot of health. He's actually gonna get taken out by this, possibly. Yep. Jeez. Unfortunate for the Xin.
Yeah, it was a heavy investment on his part, but
looks like
not much you can do against that reach.
Yeah, looks like Pantheon's trying to push top. Should be able to get it. He does have his teleport up as well. So assuming anyone comes up for him or something bad happens to his team, he can teleport out of there.
I think this is probably part of the comp that they're designing, where this Pantheon's able to come in from a distance. So we're getting to where the team comp decisions are starting to pay off now.
Pantheon's getting pretty heavily collapsed on, but he's wisely going back. So it looks like he won't be in any danger there. And we're still at about a 5k gold lead. Ashe is still working to get farmed. Sona's really far forward. because this could go really badly for her if Kane gets any support at all.
It's some bold moves there.
Yeah, this is really bold. I'm not sure it's going to work out for her. Blows the ult.
That paid off.
Yeah, there's the support from that Sona.
Sneaky baits.
Prolonged baits as well. Ashe is taking a lot of damage from fighting Sion. We'll have to see how that goes. Ryze is just running right in, ignoring the Leona entirely. Good flash there by Ace to get over the wall, but the stun still goes off, slowing him down. Looks like they're picking on the Leona. Probably a good idea rather than trying to overcommit on the Xerath. Xerath kind of warping back around, getting a little bit of help there for his team. Xin gets in there though, picks up 2 kills.
Might be going for 3, trying to narrow this gap.
Yeah, Sion, of course, Choo-Choo's not very far, but should be able to get under turret. Pantheon's really going for it, though. Doesn't get it, though.
It was a very risky move by 5 Loco, but he played it smart.
Yeah, Xayah waiting to see if there's anyone to pick off, but campers are wisely not overcommitting. Take your 2 kills and run for the hills. And now the gold lead's been narrowed to 4K, so they got 1,000 gold out of that. A lot of really weak heroes or champions in the bot lane though, and a lot that could easily get blown out by one really good play by this Kayn or by this Xayah. So hopefully the teleports go a little bit quicker there for campers. It does look like they will. Very close though.
Just by the skin of their teeth.
Checking out gold lead once again. Xayah is just about to hit 10k. Next closest is 3,000 behind her for the campers. So Xayah continues to be dominant at 9 and 2. Oh, there's a lot of trouble here for this Xerath though. Yeah, Xerath just gets deleted. Leona might be in trouble as well. Looks like her natural durability might allow her to get away. She does flash just to make sure, but Pantheon's so quick, that's got to be the end. And Pantheon lets the Ashe get the kill. Very nice of him.
Yeah, and Ashe was just able to keep that barrage of slows down, so Leona just could not get any forward momentum.
Yeah, gotta just compliment 5 Loco there on letting the Ashe get the farm. I know as a Pantheon player, sometimes you get some tunnel vision about how fed you are, and just let it keep going. But you gotta let the ADC get some kills too.
Yeah, incredible team play there.
Looks like the stun
they are chasing this.
Missed on the Sion, unfortunately, and now they're getting collapsed on. Oh, big collapse. They're running right into the Xayah. Pantheon wisely flashes. Ryze could be in a little bit of trouble, though. Probably a lot of trouble, actually. He flashes too, but he's got some slow on him. Kane's really hungry. Oh, teleports 2 feet away. Dodges the train. Everything's getting thrown at this Ryze. He's probably getting taken out, and he does.
Don't know if I agree with the position of that ultimate, but hey, it worked out for the other team.
Yeah, probably more of a panic throwdown than anything else. And it looks like Triple Strike's gonna try to take advantage of this and go for the Baron. We'll see how that works out for them. They aren't getting quite as much damage on as they probably would like. Sona gets a nice little ward in there. Pantheon's just claiming it. He's just like, if you guys want this, you're gonna have to go through me. And Baron's helping out. Baron got some huge shots there on the Xerath.
I think the real winner of that team fight was Baron, taking out Team Triple Strike.
Yeah, Baron could have gotten a highlight reel there if that fight had gone on any longer.
That was an incredible play by 5 Loco, stopping that Baron, because what he's done is he's given his team 2 turrets for nothing. Incredibly well done, and that does narrow the gold gap to less than 1,000.
Yeah, I mean it's getting really close there. And of course, you know, can't overstate objectives. Looks like Ryze is gonna end up getting taken down again, though. Unfortunately, Ashe realizes this and runs for it.
But very good footwork on the Ryze to take it as far as he did.
Yeah, most definitely. And so now as we're getting more into the time when Pantheon starts to fall off, I'm looking forward to the rest of his team now picking up off his momentum. Though, of course, with slightly squishier characters like that Xerath, I think Pantheon's always going to have someone he can jump on. It's just a question of how long he survives once he does it. Ocean Drake coming up. Most likely going to be uncontested. A good Ash Arrow might be able to make something of it, but I don't think she's going to have time to pull it off, and she does not. So the first non-Earth Drake of this game goes to Triple Strike. Definitely will help them out with that regeneration.
Big plays coming out in this early late game.
Alright, and relatively decent ward coverage of the blue team over there on their own jungle. Campers definitely keeping an eye out of what's happening with them. And one ward over there on the red buff for Triple Strike. Triple Strike, on the other hand, just has a few wards here and there. Not, no one really has any wards deep into their own territory. It looks like the Rise gets sniped again. That's really unfortunate for Toxic Cupcakes.
Yeah, especially with the Xerath, he's constantly harassing him, preventing that late game scaling. Because Rise is only 2 stacks into that Rod of Ages, and that's his only completed item.
Looks like they're going for Baron again. Might be able to take it. It looks like every time they take out Rise, they decide to go for it. Scion misses his train again, but still manages to scare Pantheon out. Pantheon's actually in a lot of trouble here. There's a big slow on him. Good ult there by the Sona, but doesn't really manage to do anything because no one else is in position to take advantage of it. And they forced Campers all the way back. Probably going to get this Ashe too. Triple kill there from the
looking to secure the kills, make this a ace.
I think under turret they're a little alright there. Lot of damage being dealt out by that turret. Rise probably wishing he was a Karthus right now, but he's not a Karthus. And ace.
Heavy investment, but it pays off.
Almost a 6-man ace there, because it started off with Rise being dead, ended with Rise being dead. Alright, so they wanted a Baron, but they got a turret, 5 heroes, and an inhibitor instead, and we're back to a 5k gold lead.
Incredible counterplay by both teams. They're not allowing the same mistakes to be made twice.
Pantheon really wants this Kayn, and he might get it. Kayn going the slightly tankier version of himself, worth noting. Pantheon does not quite have flash yet, so he's not able to chase, unfortunately. Really hard to lock Kayn's down. Yeah. How do you think the tankiness factor is kind of working out here for both teams? Because like I said earlier, it doesn't really seem like the campers have much in the way of a tank. Does that play much of an impact, do you think?
It has, because if you look at the kill total, there's been a back line to protect that Brandana, to protect Ace, that has not existed to protect that Rise. If you pick Rise, you're looking for that late game scaling, and that does not exist right now. He's 30 minions behind. He's only got 1 kill. He's just hit his 5th stack on Rod of Ages. There's a lot of scaling left if he's going to have any carry potential.
Pantheon doing really well there with help from Ashe's Arrow and Xin to help secure that kill there on the Kayn, a little too far forward. Xerath tried to make something happen there, but Pantheon managed to get out thanks to that flash that had just come off cooldown. Yeah, we'll have to see how this plays out, because obviously the kill potential for campers is still there, but the longer the game goes, the tankier especially that Scion's going to get. And we'll have to see how that works out, because like you said, frontline is going to be everything in this. If your Ashe, your Rise, they aren't protected by anything more than a slightly angry Pantheon and a Xin, you're probably not going to have backline be alive for much longer. Though, I mean,
yeah, that's going to be a constant struggle.
Pantheon cutting off here, but he has no support. Does manage to get a stun off there on the Xayah, but she QSS's away right away. Also jumps over the AoE stun. Xin tries to go in. Ashe does manage to pick off the Xayah, but I don't know how long she's going to live either. And ironically, Rise is the only one to survive that.
Gonna be
Despite King.
difficult to play out of this, but there's still time.
Yeah, there's plenty of time. Turret's dealing a lot of damage here too. Rise, of course, is stuck under here, and turret aggro's not being his friend at all. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Turret aggro, I feel, should have targeted that Kane for an extra hit there or two, but
He was dancing on the outside line. Difficult call to make there.
yeah. All right, so it's kind of a similar score to what we saw last game coming here out of Triple Strike. They are about 12 kills ahead. Gold lead is about 7,000. Pantheon's probably gonna get picked off here. Really
Incredible
good plays.
ultimates coming from Ace today.
Yeah, really good play on the Xerath. Always seems to hit what he's aiming at. Ashe dealing a lot of damage to that Kane though. Unfortunate that Ashe just came online in the last few minutes. They are all down to one turret left on the whole map. Of course, that doesn't necessarily mean the game is over for them, but it does mean they've got a very specific set of objectives to defend. One thing. Big Cyan ult does actually land at this time, and that's probably going to close the game out. Nice to see that ult used as a good engagement to offensive tool.
Yeah, very well played. Both teams have done incredibly well, but this is such a dominating way to finish out this series.
Yeah, alright, so this set of games goes to Triple Strike. We'll see at the end of the match's scoreboard to see if that managed to push them into a second place contention or not.
Excited to see that scoreboard update. Plus, I believe we do have an interview coming in.
Most definitely. But yeah, really great to just see that really dominating presence coming out of Triple Strike in both of those games. Really well done. And we've had 2 sweeps so far today. So we'll have to see if either Wolf or Northern Storm is able to make it a day for 2-0s.
Yeah, and this is just getting me more and more excited for the finals that are setting up to be played here in the LCUS.
Yeah, lot of high power teams coming out of this, and on top of that, it's just also really great to see these teams flexing their muscles a little bit. Some teams that have lost earlier on, showing that they do have the potential to get some movement on their team, and also that they're just learning from their past mistakes.
Yeah, there's been so much growth in this first split of the LCUS. Every team has shown that they're not just that week one that we saw. All right, well, I think we're going to move to the viewers box so that we can knock out this interview. We are going to have the great Beard of Odin with us.
All right, sounds great. Let's get over there. Hello, Odin.
Hey, how's it going?
Doing good. How are you?
Feeling pretty good after finally going 2-0.
Yeah, we were just talking about that. Congratulations.
So, Odin, dominating performance tonight, something you should really be proud of. Talk to me about that second game, picking Scion into Pantheon. What was your logic there? Is that a comfort pick for you? Were you confident going into that matchup?
Yeah, so Sion's always been one of my number one played champions, and it's like just a good fallback. And even if I did early, I can still and still be relevant later on.
Yeah,
very
definitely.
good.
So something that we were wondering particularly is why did you decide to not utilize your shield at level 2 and decide to go a little more offensively there?
Yeah, totally misclicked when leveling up my abilities.
Well, we were selling you like it was masterwork, so you played through it very well.
Yeah, I didn't get my W to level 4, and it really threw me off.
Yeah, definitely.
You wouldn't have known.
yeah, definitely gave Pantheon that edge, but you were trading very well.
2 masteries give them a really good poke.
Definitely. And what were your thoughts about just not even so much how the game played out, but how you guys managed to pick people off, especially in the game in game 1? You guys seemed to focus that Shogath a lot. Was that a intentional decision or just who seemed available to you?
Yeah, well, Cho'Gath was in the front line a lot, and we got to keep him away from the carry, so it was obviously focusing him down before he can consume one of our carries and take away all of our damage, because that his ult is pretty scary.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Definitely.
he does have a lot of CC to lock people down with that silence and the knock up.
And it was incredibly well played. You should really be excited and proud of what you've done. Are you looking forward to the remaining part of the split? Now, where do you think that you and your team are going to end it at?
Well, yeah, well, obviously our goal is to hopefully win the whole thing here. That's always, I think that's everyone's team's goal, but finally put 2 complete games together compared to week 1 and 2 where we win one and then drop the second.
Mm-hmm.
To win, put 2 full games together and really show what we have.
Yeah, definitely, and we're all excited to see how the standings shape up at the end of this to see if you guys manage to snag that second place away from the campers or not.
Well, that is the goal. That's
All
what
right,
we
well,
want to do here.
great talking to you, Odin. Thanks for
You
taking
guys
the
too.
time. You have a good night.
My pleasure, boys. See you later.
All right, so with that, we will be moving into our last set of games for the night. We've got Northern Storm versus White Wolf. Should be very exciting, starting in a couple of minutes. I believe, Sig, are you hanging around or are you heading out?
I'm going to head out. I'm going to tag Trufflesaurus in so he can finish you out for tonight. But, guys, incredible first set of matches. Really excited to see how these finals start to shape up.
Okay. Yeah, it is actually going to be Alon Z, not Trufflesaurus.
And that's why you read the notes, folks.
All right, but we, like I said, doing a quick break, so we'll be right back. Everybody stay tuned.